sure to fall asleep again. Come on and get cozy then. Another weekend staying in. Not that I had plans.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Everybody, welcome Joy Weather.
Woo!
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Oh
Thanks
my
for
God.
having us.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys for doing this. Sorry, our
you
dog
grab him?
Anu is a little loud. Do you guys have chat up on? Can you guys see the Twitch chat? I know Joe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to navigate this shit real quick.
Yeah. You guys got a Joy Weather fangirl in chat. I don't know if it's one of you guys or if it's.
That is 100% one of my friends trolling. I just don't know which one.
And
Don't you though? I feel like you do.
do you guys use Twitch by any chance?
I do. I don't have an account, but I'll go on and. I like to watch melee streamers.
Melee streamers?
Axe is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I mostly do porn. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What do you mostly do, Brian?
I was gonna say porn viewing parties. It's usually what I'm.
Right.
Nice.
do, but-
That's why we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
see you anymore because you got banned immediately after you did that.
You gotta keep making new accounts. I think that's the trick.
Are you Joy Weather fangirl?
I would.
If only.
I wish that was a joke, but that actually happened. Like last year, where people would just make like porn accounts and just get banned left and right. It was like a race to see who get. Yeah, and then people in the Discord, our Discord, would just like link it as fast as possible and be like, "Guys, watch this while this is still alive." So
You know, like there are other websites that exist for that. I don't know. Like maybe you guys haven't heard yet
so now we know it's you.
at the time.
Now we know it was you the whole time.
I can
Confirmed.
neither confirm nor deny.
How about you, Ed? Do you go on Twitch? Is it your first time or?
Yeah, no, I never have before.
Nice, welcome.
I know nothing.
I don't know if you have our stream up, but there's a live chat going on right now that we'll probably, if people have questions there, we'll also take questions there. But yeah, so we got our fam here, and you guys are here. So let's start it. You guys want to kind of start off with introduction with the band, what you guys play in the band, and your names? You want to start off,
Yeah.
Brian?
Yes, I would love to start off. I'm Brian. I play guitar and I sing. Sometimes I'll do like programming, keyboard stuff, profession, and I write the songs.
I'm Joe, and I
Yes.
play drums, and I don't write the songs.
Oh, Ed,
Oh.
Ed,
might
it's
be-
your turn.
I think Ed, you're cutting
Oh
out.
no!
I think
Oh
you're-
no.
I was.
Ed plays bass.
Ed plays.
He's actually just connected to Joe right now. That's
He's
all
too busy typing on the fangirl account right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I was hearing Ed like
Yeah,
a
earlier.
second ago.
That's weird.
Maybe
Oh,
it's like
man.
It was kind of like, when we were testing a little bit, he was kind of going off and on. Maybe it's.
But the mic's not jittery anymore. So maybe.
Is it just like a setting thing?
Maybe.
It's okay.
Our band abides by the policy of basses should be seen and not heard, so he's probably just,
He's
Oh,
contractually obligated to be silent. He's not.
Oh,
allowed
is
to talk.
this part of? Oh, wow! You guys definitely on brand. Then this is on
I don't.
brand.
I feel a little insulted as
If Blue
someone who
plays
plays bass. Thank you very much.
I'm just kidding. Usually I get the drummer jokes, but since he can't talk, now's my time to shine.
That's right. Beat up on him.
Hey, you might have to re-add your mic, or
Yeah.
if you want, you can try reconnecting too. If that's
Can you hear us right now, Ed? If you can nod your head, if you can hear. Oh, we
oh,
just
there
heard
you
you.
go. We just heard
Yeah.
you. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
there you
Okay.
go.
Better?
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I don't know. I changed the setting back to exactly what it was. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, I play bass.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. So for people that don't know, the music you're hearing right now is actually an instrumental version of the Joy Weather album. I hit up Brian and I was like, I want some music. but we don't want to do any copyrighted music. So, is there any way we can get permission for you guys? And he said, hey, I'll throw up some instrumentals, and sent it to us. So that's, thank you so much, Brian. People have been asking about Joy Weather album and the music and stuff. People are surprised when they hear your singing voice when they check your Spotify
They
out.
told us that they felt a little, I guess, cheated because it was always instrumentals, and they didn't know there were vocals.
They thought you guys were instrumental band. So thank you guys so much.
I think it would be better if we were. I don't know.
I highly disagree with that. I can't believe. Can you apologize to Joy with a Fangirl? That's fucking offensive. Thank you.
Oh, damn. All right. Am I canceled? Oh, shoot. I'm canceled. I'm so sorry, Joy with a Fangirl.
This stream is probably the only place you could actually listen to the instrumental only tracks. They're not like up anywhere, right, Brian?
That's true. That's true.
That's it.
Exclusive, right here.
Exclusive Brian-less tracks. Yes.
Hey, I'm playing guitar.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we have a bunch of questions here. If you guys feel like you can't answer them, or it's like it just doesn't make sense or whatever, feel free to say nah. Blue, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So when and how did the band form?
All right, you want to field this one, Joe?
Well, a long time ago on a magical website called Craigslist, I was moving to LA from Boston, and I don't know if any of you people have gone into the depths of Craigslist and looked for other musicians, but it's a pretty stark landscape. So I find this band, and I'm like, wait, they're actually good. Why are they looking for a drummer? And I learned a couple songs they had me learn. I went over to Brian's house, was super nervous. They had already known Ed, who's just a stud who would come in and rock bass parts and then go back to making pizza at home with his dog or whatever Ed does. And I don't even remember when this was. What year was that, Brian?
Dude, honestly, I don't even know was there a time before 2020? I think it's the only year we've had.
Very true. It's the only and the worst year. So
I think 2016 or 17, maybe.
Yeah, so we were a different band. We were Royce at that time, and right now we're actually thinking about potentially kind of re-recording and redoing some of the old songs from the Royce days. Yeah.
Some exclusive info.
Nice. Do we get the instrumentals for that too?
Yeah, I mean, it's about time you guys had some new songs, so I feel like we'll crank those out, and you'll have 10 new songs to repeat.
You think I'm joking, but I'm gonna hit you up. So.
Got you.
Yeah.
Also, wait, this is important. When will there be a Joy Weather featuring great songs be produced? Little did you know, we're making a trap mixtape.
Yo, you can't let that out,
You
man.
can play the harmonica or a triangle.
I can play. Yeah, I'll play the triangle. I've been doing a lot of singing on my own of some like game songs on stream. So maybe you can have me feed that.
You do a very good cover of the Sephiroth song.
Yeah, from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So
we'll chop it up and make some sick beats.
okay, it's gonna be amazing. Throw it up on Spotify. And I'm gonna cut everything out except for my parts because it's gonna be copyrighted. So it's just gonna be my just terrible voice like in the middle.
Yeah.
So
it's the opposite of what you have on stream now. It's like only vocals.
Only acapella. It's just
Acapella Sephiroth team. Solid.
All right, so you guys found each other on Craigslist. At that time, was Ed? Were you also kind of already making music with Brian, or what was the shindig there? It's cutting out.
Oh no!
No,
Your mic.
I'm losing it again. Maybe.
Well, you met through a mutual friend, right? Drew joined the Drew crew in chat here.
Maybe you need
Good
to talk.
save. Hey.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, there you
nice.
Back. Okay. I don't know how this works. I'm new to this.
It could be a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So we met through another friend of ours who I'd been playing bass for. Then Brian had the Royce, the Sun EP, which is that back up, or am I plugging something that is unfindable?
It is currently unfindable.
You took that off? You
Great.
took that EP
Well,
off?
It's a long story.
Oh god. That EP is like, yeah, I love that EP. Yeah.
It's really good, and that's why I was like, yeah, I'm down. And it took a little, convincing, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to be in a band and stuff. But I like the songs. I like Brian. He's a good guy. So yeah, it just kind of came together. I feel
Yeah,
it kind of.
You guys been together since the Royce days then, huh? That was like kind of like you guys been together. It's not like Joyweather's not the first real like band, I guess, that you guys started playing music together with.
Yeah, we've been friends for a while now.
Yeah. So Royce was my first band, and it's like all the same people minus our buddy Drew, who we're still on, we're still buds with. But I think Joe was in a bunch of weird, like, weren't you in like some kind of like funk fusion jazz math rock band?
Been in all sorts of weird band. When I first came out here, I was in a Rage Against the Machine tribute band too.
Sick.
I kind of did it all.
And now you're in Joyweather.
Yeah, he's using all those chops, bringing them over.
There it is. So, what would you guys say is your influences when it comes to writing music?
Ed.
That's a you question. I just.
Man, it's changed a lot, and now I'm like not even sure anymore. Because before it would be like Pedro Lion, Dave Bazan, be like Owen, a lot of other stuff. Help. Pineapple.
You had like a turnover period, right?
Yeah, was really, really into turnover. Because you showed me
Peripheral Vision, right? I think that's
and that was just like, whoa, game changer. They're so good. And I kind of sound like him too, like unintentionally. I think I've got the like lazy, sleepy person voice.
It's like a mellow voice, dude. I think when you started recording records and you would like send me like the demos and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is very Turnover. Not just like the music, but like you kind of have that, like you kind of also sound like Turnover. And
I just deeply, deeply wish I sounded like the dude from Hot Water Music or something like equally masculine, like
super raspy.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I just have like a weird, weak Ben Gibbard thing.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I think that's it fits the music a lot more, because with this instrumentation, if I'm listening to Hot Water Music, I feel like I'm in I'm at like Fest or something like that, like Gainesville, Florida or something like that. So I don't want.
Gosh,
it'll be very different.
Yeah. Thankfully canceled this year.
Oh, was it?
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not
Florida's
surprised.
Crazy
but,
right now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of a lot of like festivals and stuff are being canceled. I'm guessing, right?
Although there's that one in like North Dakota or like some weird place. It's like a motorcycle show or whatever.
Wait, is it like a
what was it?
festival?
It was Trapped, right?
Trapped is there, Smash Mouth, and there's like I don't know, like Billy Joe Briggs and whatever. I don't know, some like weird.
It's just like a normal festival that's just happening.
Supposedly, I don't know,
That's
man.
crazy, dude. Wow. I wonder how many people are gonna show. You know what the thing is? People are gonna show up to that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Drowning
Of course,
gonna be there. It's big.
Oh my god. So like that's actually something that I wanted to ask you guys going in, but with this whole COVID situation, right? You see a lot of artists coming to live streaming platforms. There's been a lot of festivals, like mostly like electronic artists, but they have festivals online. As a live band, where does that put you guys? Do you guys feel like live streaming might be something you guys are interested in? You know, you guys can't tour anymore, right? So like, what's the situation now that COVID's just everywhere?
You guys are gonna make me keep talking. Oh god, okay. I mean, right as it was like COVID was becoming a thing, we had a Instagram live stream that was super fun. And then after that, we were like, wait, we probably shouldn't even be seeing each other. It was only recently I went back to Brian's house and like recorded drums for some of the stuff he was working on. Had to wear a mask the whole time. It was awful, but I feel like I know some people are able to sync up their streams so they can play music at the same time. The two guitarists in Dragon Force do that, but I have no idea how you do that.
Probably need
yeah, Herman Lee is like big on Twitch, I think.
Yeah. So you guys tried the
other Twitch channels. Sorry.
Did you guys like ever feel like Yama has a question? Like, did you guys ever feel like the live set, doing a live set on, it doesn't have to be Twitch. Like you guys said, you guys did on Instagram, but making it kind of like a thing that you guys, consistent thing.
I mean, I'd be down. Just like logistics wise, I'm not sure how we would, like, if we'd all be wearing masks in the same room, or maybe we can figure out like how to do it. I don't know, in our respective homes.
That would be cool though.
You guys
obviously would love to be playing together again, right?
That's probably the most frustrating thing, right? Is that you guys can't get, even if it's just practice, like you guys can't release that energy, which you guys probably do when you guys play music together. That's probably the rough thing. Like you guys can do the American football stay home thing, where you just record your own part and like put it together. But I think like
that might have to be it, for a while.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we demoed out the first album, right? Because you were still in Japan, Brian.
Yeah, I was living in Japan at the time, and I would like sort of write the songs, put a vague structure on them, and then like send them over to the guys, and they kind of like put their idea for parts and stuff, and then kind of did it that way.
So in this situation, you guys don't play together, but like Ed, do you play bass a lot more than maybe you did before because you stay in a lot, or like?
I've actually been playing a lot less. I've been bad. But I think a part of it is that sort of motivation of like, well, we're not gonna have a show for a while, and we're not even getting together. So like the motivation to practice is like harder to find. But like I've just been going through patches. Like there'll be times where I've been playing a bit, and then times where I just haven't been. So I think it's sort of comes with the territory of this, of like not knowing when we're gonna be able to get together. And I think we'll start getting together a little more.
Yeah.
You guys are doing something tomorrow, right?
Oh, really?
Yep.
You guys have something in plan for that. That's good. So
wait, can I this is like totally off topic, but Brian, is that light behind you a pineapple?
It sure is.
It is a pineapple.
I'm sorry, that's been bugging me. I'm just staring at this light, and it's like, is that a fucking pineapple with sunglasses?
I thought it was toast.
Oh yeah.
It does kind of look like toast, yeah. But sorry.
I think
Totally
he got
off
that for
topic.
he was like, oh, pineapple, gotta get that.
Yeah, I actually ran out, got it, came back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think COVID is kind of like, and how that affects a live band is, I think what Joe was saying really makes sense. Is like, people have the equipment for recording, like the artist got all the audio interfaces, but uploading it on something or like live stream is also like, it's a different beast, because you have all these professional musicians that have top tier equipment and the live stream, but it just sounds really bad because they don't have live streaming equipment at all. So it's really hard for I think a live band to. So I was always wondering if like bands have an interesting way to kind of output their music in this situation, because it seems like it's gonna last a long time, right? So
yeah, I feel like that's like kind of the $1 million question for all these like bands, especially like the ones that used to make their living off of touring. What to do. I think because like you said, a lot of like recording hardware, software is a lot more accessible, and like it's easier to record now, and you get a better sound for cheaper and stuff. But like you said, it doesn't translate across to live streaming. And so if anyone has any ideas, help.
Let us
Like,
know.
we're all in need.
All right, yeah. I mean, I have a ton of questions with Blue. I'm just gonna be like start machine gunning questions if you don't stop me. So
No, that's totally fine.
All right.
I'll just butt in when,
So another thing that's like I think is interesting is like you guys are content creators, right? And it's like people we stream and we have this kind of general idea of like how much we need to do or progress to live off of it. And I think music is another one that a lot of people don't really have a good grasp of, because they see these artists that blow up and then it's always this conversation of like, oh, the labels and all this, like people, they just kind of guess. But as a real live band, what does it take for a band to live off music? You guys think?
Oh, man.
It must be different for everyone, but I'm just saying, like, in your eyes.
You don't know either? Bummer, man.
That's why we're looking for answers.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, being on a big label like that is its own beast, right? You have a manager who takes 20% and a lawyer who takes 5% and a business manager. Like, there's so much to it, and it's all, you need points on the master, and I don't even know what that means, but I know that's a thing that happens once you get up to that level, right? I think for independent musicians, it's about, how much groundswell can you just create organically, and how can you push yourself out there to the people that would be interested in what you're doing. I mean, none of us are living off of it right now, right? And it'll be an interesting landscape once we're able to get back out and play shows. Like, it's sad to even think about, but which venues will be left, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the smaller independent venues are all gone and we can only play the House of Blues in Los Angeles or whatever, I don't think we're gonna get booked there, right? So it's tough to see how the landscape's gonna change.
I mean, I would imagine that like house shows maybe will become like more of a thing again. Maybe that's like the only like answer off the top of my head I can think of. And then in terms of like money, I know Patreon's kind of been good for like YouTubers and other streamers or like content creators as well. And I feel like, well, why not musicians too? Obviously, I think you'd have to have something to offer, but it's maybe a thing. But I mean, yeah, we're also just like, please, money, please.
Right.
Does Brian sound like a robot to you guys?
Crunchy.
A little crunchy.
He is a robot. Don't tell.
Oh, that's right. He's just exposing himself right now. How about you, Ed? Like, what do you have any opinion on that? Of like, because you guys have actually been on the road. You've seen how hard it is, right? To like, kind of, how much a show makes or doesn't make. Do you have like some kind of like idea in your head how much it needs to succeed or go in a certain direction, or maybe it's a whole new direction, you guys, in terms of monetization? Is there like
I mean,
no idea?
Oh, sorry. I feel like we're gonna find out. I think, like, and Joe were both saying, like, things are gonna look very different on the other side of this, whatever the other side of this even means. So I think music is such like an experience-based thing now. It's not just like a CD, or it's not just the songs. It's like going to the show, the lights, the visuals, the merch. So I feel like people are gonna figure out something that works. Maybe people have already, and I'm just not aware of it because I'm wildly out of touch. But I think there has to be something, because people are still gonna want music. It's just a matter of figuring out like what its value, what people are willing to pay for, and what I don't know what I'd be like willing to pay for. I know there have been a few live streams, like the Hotel Cafe has been doing one or two things. It's a local venue in LA, where it's like $15 and you get set from the venue, but it's just the band, like a skeleton crew, band and an engineer and like probably a couple other people filming and whatever. And so that's a cool idea, but if you pay $15 to go to a show and have a night out with friends, so like I don't know what the appetite is for stuff like that. But I mean, I know there'll be something, because people need music.
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, like exactly. People need music. It's just,
yeah.
I 100% agree with that. It's like, what form are people gonna take that in? And it's kind of different, which because like kind of brings me to the next question is like, you know, kind of ignoring the COVID situation just for this question, but I think as an artist, physical media is this kind of like, it's kind of this cool thing you want the vinyls, you know, you want to put out that 7-inch, you know, because, you know, we have the 7 inches and like, it's like people want, I think like the artist likes physical media more, but there's a point where digital music is just more
accessible. It's
like
easier
makes
to buy.
sense, right?
In a lot of cases, yeah.
Yeah. So how important is that to Joyweather? Like physical releases.
I mean, right now we got Jack Squat. It would be nice to press vinyl, but I mean, I know you said like sort of outside of the of the COVID thing, but you know, especially because no one's playing shows, it's hard to like push physical things. And I think, yeah, like Blue said, you know, the streaming is just so much more accessible. I think it's great in a lot of ways, and yeah, like in terms of sort of being like in the service industry in a way, like you have to really provide something awesome, and like make people really want to support you. Like it's more of a choice. I mean, like, hey, I stand this band. I'm gonna like have their shit and all that. I don't know. Somebody help me. I'm running out of things to say.
No, I mean, I think we all kind of are in agreement there, right? I'm not buying too many physical copies of things, right? I did for my sister's band, but outside of that, that's only because my car is so old. I have a cassette player to play her cassette.
My God.
Oh, nice. Selling the cassette tapes. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're making a comeback. Like that older
Awesome.
tangible media, I think is cool. Like I'm listening to everything on Spotify, but do I feel bad knowing that even if I listen to my favorite artist 100 times, they're gonna get, you know, a penny for it? A little bit, but it's the convenience, you know.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, I think Japan is very, like, we still have a lot of physical, like, a lot of bands release physical copies, like, getting physical CDs are a lot popular, actually, and, like, I think Spotify just made it over here very recently, so, like, streaming music, I guess, is very, very new here, but I think especially, like, in the US, I feel like it's, like, streaming music is probably more popular now, and it's kind of the norm, I guess, and so it is rare, I think, for people to hear that people are buying CDs nowadays. Even though I think, like, for me, like, getting that booklet with a CD is like, I love that part because you can see, like, because it kind of tells like a lot about the artist, not just, of course, the music does as well, but like kind of knowing like, oh, they chose this kind of cover for it, or like, okay, like they chose these kind of like this kind of font and this kind of format, so it kind of gives you kind of a visual idea of what the songs are gonna be or how the band's gonna like sound and everything. And that's I don't know, as someone who's really into, you know, design and creative stuff, like I really appreciate that part of like CDs and stuff too. So that is actually, I think that's always like a really cool part about physical copies, is like you get the little extra on top of like of course the music and everything. But
and nowadays, like if you buy vinyl, I still buy vinyl, but I don't really get my record player out because like I get it just because I want the physical you know, artwork. And also, I don't know if everybody knows this, but pretty much every record comes with a download code anyways. So it comes with the digital one, so it's like having like a really nice poster or like a really nice, like if you can just put up on the wall, it looks nice as interior too if you want to do that. So I still buy
Oh, sorry. That was like kind of one of my favorite things about like having vinyl is like what Blue said, you know, having like the liner notes and like having all the all that stuff. And then also, it just looks cool, man. It looks cool. You put it on a shelf and you got a bunch of them. You're like, oh, it's a cool guy. Cool guy's got cool things.
And there's a lot.
Then like it can start a conversation if someone sees it and goes, oh, you like this band?
Yeah, and it's like, it's such a creative piece of art, not just like the actual cover, but you can actually change the color of the vinyl itself. So like, I know some people that like frame the actual vinyl, so they're not gonna listen to it. They'll get like 2 copies, and then they'll have one to listen to, and the other one's just like this really sick looking disc with the cover. And so it's like, I just think there's a lot of like creative, like another, and a lot of the times the artists are empowered to, choose all that. So it's another way of artistic expression that I like. So that's why I like just getting physical copies of things. Not too much though. I still listen to all my music on Spotify, but it's
Yeah, let's be real here. Like, who's got time to fucking like? I gotta wait until fucking track 4.
take the
Goddamn
needle up. And,
No, like fucking give me that shit.
But it is a statement, like the bands that you're gonna actually buy the vinyl for, like that's like another tier of fandom, right? Not gonna just do that with a band you're like, they're okay.
Exactly. It's it's just like that's just something that I was just used to doing. So I think I just kept doing that. But it's interesting to hear like a band's point of view of like kind of, some people want to stick with the physical stuff and some people don't. So what's the best, like going back when you guys used to play shows, do you guys have like a best show or best tour experience? I know this is like a very kind of a broad question, but
Yeah, you guys got anything?
I mean, I know for me, it might have even been one of, if not the last show we played before COVID came around. But when we made a friend just playing a Halloween show, and they were like, "Hey, I'm having a birthday party. Do you want to play at my birthday party?"
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And playing house shows are cool in and of themselves, but just something about, one, this person was super popular and had a ton of friends, so there was actually a pretty good audience there. But it was just so nice, and everyone was so friendly, and I feel like the vibe is almost more important than who's showing up or where you're playing. And I just you remember it fondly. They had good food, so that was a plus.
wait, was that the hot dog show? We were in a hot dog suit? Or was that different, Brian?
Which time? The 2019 hot dog show, yeah. That's where we met the person who invited us to that birthday party house show.
Oh, so it's a prequel. The hot dog was the prequel. Okay.
Exactly.
Hot dog's how he charms them, and then
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you guys ever catch Joy Weather live, Brian, you better be wearing a hot dog costume.
I mean, that's my stage gear.
Okay, that's good. It's good to have.
I'm
that.
pretty sure, I'm not gonna say like who, but like someone in our circle definitely broke the shit out of a mirror in that in that Halloween house.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh no.
And we somehow still got invited. It was me, just saying. But
You guys were just that cool that even if something was broken, they're like, we still got to get these guys to play at the show.
Oh, 7 years of bad luck. That's what did it. Who broke that?
So was that kind of everybody's favorite show, or do you guys have other shows that kind of stuck with you?
I mean, stuck with me. There's I think it was our second show or first show. We ended up playing at 2 a.m. So we'd promote the show as oh yeah, come watch us on Saturday night, but really Sunday morning. It was the fucking worst. I'm surprised people were still there. But it was.
2 a.m. is gnarly, dude, because in Japan, right, you don't go to shows at 2 a.m. So
Yeah.
Not in the States either. There were just a couple people left. But honestly, we busted out, all the small things by Blink-182, and the few drunken people at the bar just went off. They loved it. So
that actually sounds like a good time. I wish I was there for the 2 a.m. show. Were you? It's did you guys have to stay there? Did you guys load in at 1:30? Were you guys?
I was there for the whole damn
Oh my
time.
god.
yeah, because we try and watch the other bands. We don't want to be those people that just show up,
Mhm,
do your
mhm,
thing, and leave. Though we didn't blame anyone who did. It's not like we want them to wait around until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it was an experience for sure.
Did you guys headline that show, or was there bands that played after you guys?
So there's an old-
or playing last. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the old saying. Some nights you're headlining, and some nights you just play last. It was definitely the latter.
It's crazy. How many bands played that night? Was the show? Did the show just start really late? Or
Yeah, there are
Oh,
like
man.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
how about you, Ed? Is there a show that sticks with you?
Not really one thing. It's sort of like what the guys have been saying. Just sort of like the stories are all kind of fun.
Mhm.
Like that Halloween show was really fun too.
That was a blast.
The host of the party like disappeared. Nothing like bad. It just like left, and everyone was like. So I don't know. They all had their like.
Oh yeah,
weird
because we had our
stories.
gear stored in their room, so no one would take it,
Yeah.
and their room was locked. We couldn't leave.
No, like
Oh,
we're
no.
not a kid.
Ed seems very casual about something that's not casual at all. It seems a little.
Yeah, I just
intense.
left.
Dude just left.
Yeah,
You know, it's
it's
okay.
classic
As I was
Ed.
saying it, I was like, "This sounds bad." It sounds like someone. But no. I think
actually,
just
we
went to
were
another
so
party.
bad.
Weird.
That was
That house shows are one thing I've never experienced because you don't do that in Japan. They don't have house shows in Japan, and that's just something I always like seen in music videos or like movies and stuff
Old
like
movies,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and it seems so fun, but I've never been to one.
I think the vibe is fun, but it sounds like absolute garbage. Like it's just hard wall, like sounds reflecting everywhere. Everything just sounds like mush, and all you hear is like cymbal, like crash and hi-hat, and like these guitars that are way too fucking loud.
And one little speaker for vocals.
Yeah, you just hear like it's just trying so hard.
Is there even a monitor at this? Do people own monitors? Or
Probably
like,
I
not.
don't Like what is that?
Or does like
You know?
does the band have to bring that in? Like if they had, like it's just like where's the sound even coming from?
I mean, definitely have had my fair share of shows where like I'm bringing in like my sort of PA, like just giant
Wow. Okay.
speaker.
Crazy. Like the whole setup, like the venue setup, the band brings it.
Yeah, or like even for that 2 a.m. show, like we were using my mics. Someone broke my
Wait,
mic
what?
clip.
What?
And my mic stands.
What?
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
People were seems like people were pretty alive at 2 a.m. for that show. I think you guys did headline. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Dude, it was lit.
Seems like it went off. So I kind of want to ask you guys about. Actually, this is a question you thought of, Blue.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys ever go through like not necessarily I don't know what like the proper term it would be, but like writer's block, so to speak? Like not just lyrics, but just like the instrumental parts too. Do you guys ever have like this time where you just can't like figure out what you want to write or like what kind of like I guess you want to like add to that song, like particular song or anything? And if you do have that kind of like writer's block or just kind of a block in your creativity, like what do you guys do to like overcome it? If you do have that.
Brian?
I mean, I'm a fucking genius. Never
Yeah,
had it, baby.
never
No,
had a writer's block. Been waiting for it.
No, I have had definitely writer's block in the past, but I think more and more I've gotten used. Like, so I heard this thing about it's like an interview with Stephen King or something, and he was like George R. R. Martin and Stephen King, and George R. R. Martin was like, "How the fuck do you write so many books?" And he was like, "I just write whatever, 200 pages a day. I just sit my ass down and write." And Joe's friend was a professional songwriter, and I think watching that person, I was like, oh, like songwriting doesn't have to be this like magical thing. You just like sit the fuck down and just do it. And I think kind of like getting into that mindset helped a lot. And also now I kind of like find it's easier to be creative, like having boundaries. I think like there's an idea that like, oh, like creativity means I can do anything and I just want to be able to do anything. But really, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna like draw these boundaries and then do something within this, and that's helped a lot. And lyric writing for me is the worst part because I hate writing lyrics. But now I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe I can spin it, and so like I'm gonna watch a movie on mute and just sort of like feel like the vibe of it as I'm like listening to the song that I wrote and try to write something.
Well, that's
or,
super
like,
interesting.
I just, I read this book, so I'm gonna write like from the perspective of the character of this book, like kind of just like a impression of like what I feel like that person's like, and I'll try something like that. Because also I'm tired of writing about myself and my feelings. Nobody gives a shit, so I'm like,
I do.
Hey, yeah, we
The
care.
fuck, man.
but I've literally written like 200 songs about my feelings, so I'm like, I need to write about something else.
See, you need to get reference from, yeah, that makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
After you write.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like, blah, 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 but like that's something I think about a lot. So
No, that's
thank
super-
you for the excellent question.
Super
Yeah.
important. So
I
Brian,
always think about my feelings when I'm ranking the drum parts too.
Yeah.
So that makes
Yeah.
sense.
how hard you hit the snare, you know, if you know
Yeah.
the toms and stuff like that. I feel that, yeah. It's the sign of a real musician when you can tell emotion through the snare. Yeah, I think it's...
This is angry. Ugh, this is happy. Yeah.
Oh, there's two
So
less
Joe
symbols.
expresses himself.
So wait, Brian makes like the bass of the song. I know Brian, you're a multi-instrumentalist, so you can maybe you have like the basic stuff.
I prefer Genius, but
Sorry, okay, multi-instrumentalist genius, Brian.
Multi-genius.
Multi-genius. You have the songs. Does that, when the songs are brought to Ed and Joel, are they already complete at that point, or does their input? How does their input kind of play into Joy Weather?
Brian doesn't really care about what we think since he's a multi-instrumentalist genius, so he kind of just does his own thing. But
Okay.
it depends. Sometimes he'll send us something with like pretty well recorded, and he'll have sample drums on it. And sometimes he'll just whip out the notebook and be like, "Hey, I was just working on this one." That doesn't happen. We'll kind of have to bully him into playing those for us. He likes to show like a little more polished song, but I don't know. I feel like the bass and drum parts, I don't want to speak for you, Ed, but Brian like creates enough of a vision on the songs that it like you can't go too many ways with it. You kind of know what you
Wow.
should do, and you want to play the song more than just play the instrument, right? So you just kind of do what would work with it.
Yeah, I feel like we'll usually add little things or suggest, some small tweak or whatever. But yeah, I feel like you usually do. It's not like Brian will have like just a riff for like a tiny fragment of an idea. It's usually pretty well, like thought out.
Okay. And like, so that's the song, right? And then the lyrics come in. It's Brian said it's his least favorite part, but I always wondered like for other bands and like just because you see the live shows and then all the bandmates are like singing the songs and stuff like that. How important are the lyrics? Of course, it's really important to Brian, but how about the other? Do you guys share the lyrics before putting them on the song? Like, is he like, these are the lyrics, these are the song, this is what the song's gonna be like, this is the kind of like what I'm going for message wise? Is there do you guys share the lyrics with the band, or is that just kind of what Brian just puts onto the song without telling anybody else?
I think more the latter, like, because like when I write a song, whether or not it's like sort of built out a little bit, or if it's just like me on acoustic guitar and just like playing, it's usually with they're all complete with lyrics. And I don't know. I mean, I don't really like tell them the lyrics or even like show it to them until like way later. I think Joe's like actually a lyric guy, and so he'll be like, "Oh, guess this was happening in your life." Like, "Ooh, what's going on here?"
Yeah, I definitely read into him, and I'll be like, "I want to know the stories behind all of these."
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah,
I feel like that way it's a lot more emotional. The songs get more emotional, I think. If it just seems like it makes for a better performance if everybody's just kind of on the same page message wise. Like maybe you're singing about like having a good day, and then like the song might sound a little aggressive, so like the feeling's like off if people don't kind of listen to the lyrics. So that's like just the image that I had. So
But Brian loves doing that sort of thing, where he'll write a upbeat, happy song, but then you listen to the lyrics, you're like, "Whoa, that's dark," or "That's sad." I think he likes that juxtaposition where I don't know, why do you think you even do that, Brian?
Good question. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's too much. Like I feel like when I'm singing about my feels, putting that and then like sad music on top of that, then it's like Phoebe Bridgers. I'm just like, man, bummed the fuck out, man. Which is not a bad thing. Like sometimes you want to be bummed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's that. And I also like that. Like, I don't. It's really satisfying for me having the, that like dichotomy or juxtaposition of like really happy this with really sad this and mush them together. And it's also a good way to like hide for me. Like I feel like I can feel less weird about like these like really, I don't know, meaningful things to me if I like had like this sort of like music behind it. Like I see Joy Weather Fangirl tell us song stories. Like our first single, Fake It Till You Make It, is like just some good old power pop, Stacy's Mom vibe. But like the song to me is definitely like, recovering depressed person trying to be happy, and then you realize like, oh man, sometimes I just don't want to be that alive. But,
yeah.
But you gotta like also recognize that those feelings pass, and like maybe sort of pretending to be a happy person. I mean, like science says it helps, and so like you kind of like sort of wrestle with those kinds of things. But like if you have that and it's like, oh, sad piano ballad, and I'm so sad. I don't really like that right now, but I don't know, maybe in the future.
I feel like just hearing from you talking about the lyrics and stuff, it feels like you said you didn't like writing lyrics, but it seems like it's a very it's like digging into kind of emotions that you normally suppress and you bring them out in lyric form, and that's why it's like a hard time. It's not that you don't like writing them, but it's just like it's hard on you. It seems like you have to really like dig deep, and you have to like bring that out. It's like a painful process.
I don't really like to like talk about like my feelings, much to the detriment of some of my like personal relationships. And I find it a lot easier to like just like write them out. And sometimes like as I'm writing, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I felt that way, but I think I feel this way. It's kind of like stuff.
Yeah. And then
Brian, you gotta plug your mic in all the way or something's going on.
Wait, try talking directly. Can you talk closer to the mic? Maybe it's
Hello?
like oh yeah, it's a little robot-y. Still a little I didn't want to cut you off because I think you're saying something really cool, but it's a little choppy. You like
What? Should I
plug in and out maybe?
Oh wait.
Give us a second.
blow up?
Yeah, you might have to. Yeah, it might be internet issues.
It's a connection issue.
It could be just It could be your internet, or it could be. I mean, you could try plugging in and out your mic if that might fix it. You can try reconnecting too if that's.
Hey Brian,
if you want to do that.
Corduroy P in chat is saying terrible internet.
It's true.
Possibly.
It's so
Call
bad
out.
at Brian's house.
So I'm just gonna go on. If it gets better, it gets better. I think I'm gonna keep going. But so one thing that like on Twitch, a big thing about people that just keep streaming is burnout is a huge keyword, or like it's this thing that people always talk about, where they just, because we stream for hours and hours every day, maybe there's a game that we don't want to play, and they get burnt out on the idea of streaming. I think it's a little different than writer's block, where you can't find the answer versus find the right direction versus just being tired of this process. Has that ever occurred to you guys? And if it does, how'd you guys get out of it?
Someone. I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking, and also my mic is shitty apparently.
But you sound better now.
It's a little
I mean,
bit
you do
better.
all the writing, so.
I mean, honestly, I don't ever really get burned out because this is the only thing that I like to do. It's kind of a problem. I don't know. Do you guys ever kind of get some burnout or things like that?
I feel like
Say
for me,
burnt out.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's like hanging out with your friends. It's the same reason why I imagine like Blue and Gray, you don't get too burnt out because it's like you have each other and you're not just, you know, interacting with chat. I feel like you have each other to do that and to bounce ideas off of and to, you know, go into the office, so to speak, together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where, you know, it's like, oh, I get to see Ed and Brian today. Not lately, but, you know, I like driving up to Brian's with Ed. We carpool, you know, going to the donut shop down the street. Like, it's fun for us, I think, or
That's
me
awesome.
at least. I don't want to speak for you guys, but that's why I don't see it as a chore or anything, you know?
Yeah, it's such an outlet. It's fun that, you know, I feel like sometimes the motivation isn't there. Like I was saying before about practicing now, it's like I have next to no motivation, but I still like it. And I wish we could. You know, I wish I had more motivation and we could get together and all that. So
Yeah.
Especially as like not a songwriter, it's not like I'm gonna go into a coffee shop and just play a ripping drum solo. Like I need them, or I'm just
You should
playing
try.
along to stuff by myself. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. I appreciate that I have them, and I have, you know, they allow me to have that outlet.
We're definitely lucky that we're two people. A lot of streamers are just like by themselves, so the burnout is we get to talk about a lot of stuff. But even with us, there was moments of like, oh, we feel burnt out, we don't know what to do and stuff like that. Like, and we just sometimes just need to take a break or just kind of turn the switch off and then on again or something like that. There's really no answer. Like, it's like the big question on Twitch is like, what do you do about burnout? You know, but it seems like this is for you guys. Joy weather is what gets you out of being burnt out of other things in other life. Like, this is the solution. Joy weather is the solution to burnout almost. So I feel like that's super healthy. That's what a healthy like mental state to be in, right? So I think
Yeah, I didn't even
Listen-
considered it like that. Listen to Joy Weather. You won't be burnt out anymore.
there you go. So this is why we keep playing it over and over and over again. So that's what it is. Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Blue? I think we went through pretty much.
I guess like I do have another question. Like,
Yeah.
so, if we actually like to ask this to just like everyone we have on our stream, but
Yeah.
if someone were to want to start a band, like, would you guys have any like recommendations or like tips? Like, don't do it, or like, yeah, you guys should definitely do this, or like, yeah, what's do you guys have any tips for someone who wants to maybe start a career in music or even like solo project or band, whichever? But
I'll go first. I would say definitely do it, but just do it for fun. Do it for the right reasons, you know? I think a lot of people want to do it and judge their success by how many people listen to us, how much money did I make, did I get a big record deal or whatever, you know? And those things, as I said before, you know, it's kind of, as you pointed out, it's an outlet for us, and it's kind of just, I see it as hanging out with my friends and being able to make something. And it's cool to be able to point to the album and say, "Look, we did that, I'm proud of that." Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. It's better than just, you know, sitting around doing nothing all day.
How about you, Ed? What would you say?
I mean, I would agree with that. I think you have to love it, and you know, I think it's okay to, you know, try to do it for a living and get all those things that Joe was saying. But you do have to love it. It's not gonna. There's not some like way to sort of take a shortcut around the hard parts. But it's gonna be a struggle regardless. Even if you think, oh, I've got this great thing that no one's ever thought of before. Maybe no one will like it. Maybe that's why no one's thought of it before. You know, so you do have to love it, look deeply, and be willing to, you know, be super bummed about it and struggle. But if you want to do it, like, I feel like there's nothing like it. You know, playing music with other people and creating something and looking back, like listening to our album. It's sort of crazy. It's like the whole process of Brian writing in Japan, sending stuff to us. Me not sending back demo parts, Joe sending back everything.
I remember that, Brian, when you were like telling me about like before the band even formed, and you're like, I'm writing these demo songs and I'm gonna go back, make this band and all that stuff. So it was like
Ed won't fucking send me bass tracks. God damn it.
Hey,
Sorry.
what the fuck? Okay,
But
that-
now we have this album, and it's. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
For sure.
real. Yeah. How about you, Brian?
More to come. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm of the opinion that like you're only gonna do it if you really like to do it. Like if you, it's one of the worst ways to try to make money. I feel like, you know, it's one of the jokes of like, you know, how do you make $1 million playing music? Start with $2 million. Because it's just not gonna happen. I mean, and also like when you are making stuff, I feel like trying to make something that you think will hit or like be awesome, like other people will like, I feel like is a surefire way to make it sure nobody likes it. So you just gotta like make something that you truly enjoy. Because like none of it makes sense. Like why does anything become? Oh, I mean, let me walk that back. But you know, yeah. Otherwise, I mean, maybe that could be why, you know, someone would get burned out, right? You're just like, this thing.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's this idea that you need to do something and it's work and it's like, you know, it's something you have to do versus something you want to do. So it causes people to burn out.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, how do you guys kind of keep like the fire going? Like, because I think it's different for you guys. You know, it's something you got to consistently do, consistently be on, and also like be visible in front of people. I think we get to be sort of like when you make music, it's like behind closed doors until it's done, and then you're like, hello, this is the thing. But I think for you, it's almost like stand-up comedy or something. Like we're like the only way that you can really do it is like by being in front of people. I don't know, how do you guys keep it going?
A lot of talking, like a lot of communication, a lot of it's just like bouncing around ideas, because like I think the biggest thing, like for I think just not just us but for a lot of like creative people, is like if you don't see a lot of, I guess, like very obvious progress, if you're not growing in your creative field, I think it does put like a little bit of a like stopper on on things, and it kind of like makes you it makes you lose that motivation, because it's like, oh, like we're not progressing, or like nothing is growing from this kind of thing. And I think that's a really big, and that's a really dangerous mindset to get into, because I think there is progress. It's just because you can't see it doesn't mean there isn't. So I think that it's a lot of like communicating, and I think like a lot of like throwing out new ideas, maybe, because like you know, if we try something new, it gets us really excited for it, and I think that really shows in like how we're streaming and whatnot too. And so I think it's just a lot of communication and trying to kind of change how we view streaming or how we're viewing the situation, and be like, no, like we're doing totally fine. Like you're like, you know, we would just be like, hey, great, like you're overthinking it, or like, like don't worry about that. Like that's like nothing. Like, yeah, you're worrying about things that's not even there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
there was a period where a lot like, and I think everybody goes through this, is they care about their numbers so much, they think like what hits, how to get viral and all that stuff, and it burns you out so quick, because a lot of that stuff is luck too. Kind of comes into that, and I think you can't bank on that. And I think truly right now our channel is whatever we want to do, at the cost of like just random thoughts, like we ping everybody on Discord and be like, hey, we want to play this werewolf game that we thought of like out of nowhere,
like 10 p.m.
does anybody want to come join? And it's like, it's on the cost, and like and people are like, you guys gotta like schedule that before, like you guys gotta like let me know, I want to play. And but I think it's like that distance that we have of like, it would be if we were like a company or something, that's rude as hell, you can't do that. But it's like, hey, there's something we want to do, and we're gonna do it the way we want to do it, and then we get your input. But it's just that kind of freedom of like having that mindset, let's just do what we want to do whenever we want to do it. Let's stop thinking about like we have to announce it like a week before, we can just do it again. Or like it's really important to move on that motive of, oh, this is good, let's go now. So it's probably not really good for like the marketing for like socials and stuff like that, but that's the style, and it's prevented us from being burnt out, or that mentality, I think.
And also like not having kind of like not necessarily of course we have a schedule, but not like a deadline, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we used to think like, oh, if we're not here by this time, we're not doing good. And I think that mentality made it really hard for us to kind of look past it, because it's all we would think about. It's like, wait, and then of course after talking and everything, we'd be like, wait, why do we even like have this like weird ass deadline in the first place? Because there's no deadline for anything. Like, why are you so worried about where we are at this point in time when that shouldn't even be the main focus of everything?
Yeah.
And so I think we just kind of decided that we should just do what we enjoy and just do just stream fun things and go from there.
Yeah.
And try to make that our priority more than anything. And that really, that definitely helped.
Yeah.
So.
If you add pressure to yourself, like, it can influence your decision making and sort of, it can make you just chase something that's trending or whatever. And I think, like you're saying, like, can lead to being burnt out and frustrated. And
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think pressure can be good, because it's like
Pressure can be good.
For me, like, pressure to do this interview well is pressure, but pressure to
Hmm.
succeed is just so
ambiguous.
so ambiguous and vague, and I feel like that doesn't make, of course it's gonna fail. There's no way you're gonna succeed in that pressure making, because nobody thinks like the people success is relative, right? I feel like people that are actually succeeding in our eyes is like, maybe they think they're not good enough, and it's you can't succeed in that sense. So that pressure, as soon as you put it on, it's unachievable. So we try to do for like smaller things.
And I think that makes it more like, it would be such a drag to watch someone play a game that they feel like they have to play, and they're just like, and like, I don't know, I'm the king of putting pressure on myself and just like freaking myself out, stressing myself out, and then I'm like, and then Ed and Joe are like, why? Like, it's fine, everything, like, it's all good.
Yeah, it is. So there, Soboto in chat right now is asking, it's in Japanese, but he says that he has, if it's okay to ask you guys a question from chat.
Of course.
But he says he has some musician friends around him, and they say that a lot of them say that a lot of artists don't really artists themselves don't really understand, or just don't really understand about copyright. Is this true for foreign artists? Like, they don't really have a good idea of it, or like copyright of their own music too, I guess. But what would you guys say? Do you think a lot of artists around you guys are pretty knowledgeable about what copyright is, what you can do, what you can't do, or do you think it's like kind of up in the air?
I feel like LA is unique because it's such an industry town that, like, everyone has a friend who's a songwriter or works in publishing or something. So I feel like that knowledge is kind of floating around, so people are like aware at least. I mean, that is a insane field. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
It's just so confusing, and a lot of people that get into music don't get into music to learn about copywriting and marketing a band, right? That's why most bands like are so bad at it. They just want to make music and hope that it resonates, and they kind of strike gold. So I think that's super fair to say, and in the US I'd say it's the same. A lot of people don't even know what copyright is. I'll just see a stream I like get muted because they were playing music that they couldn't play, and then I'm like, oh, that's what copywriting is, but I haven't read a book on it or anything.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So Brian, kind of the same thing, kind of.
Yeah, I would say something. I barely have any idea. Even, I mean, like, I kinda, just because trying to learn more and stop being so dumb. But yeah, I feel like most people don't, and like Ed said, maybe in like industry towns like in Nashville, New York, and LA, people are a little more savvy, but I would imagine that everywhere else, clueless.
And it's so confusing because, like, depending on the platform, copyright's copyright, but then you see these like cases where people, they have the right for the music, but it gets flagged by somebody else, and it's just like, it seems like it's really unstable to really rely all your facts on to all the platforms out there. You know, like there's some platforms people put out. It's like, this is my own music. I have copyright for it, and they still get flagged or something like that. So it's
That's crazy.
That's happened to me. Like I,
What?
uploaded the Roy stuff, and it's like, this is copyrighted material. I'm like, fucking A, this is my song. I wrote this shit.
You can't be. Their last album wasn't this sad. You must be two different people. It's crazy. So, and that's actually why we had to ask you, because Twitch had a pretty big like scare. I don't know if they really went down with it, but had a big kind of like DMCA kind of like
a lot of videos were
yeah.
getting taken down. A lot of people were getting like 24-hour timeout, like bans basically.
It used to be just
kind of thing.
what
Yeah.
Joe said, like it would just get muted.
Yeah.
But now these like big partners and stuff are getting a huge like these messages from Twitch saying like, if you don't put these clips down, and they have clips and like thousands of clips, and it was just really hard to organize all of them. And when that came out, it was just like an overall Twitch thing. Even for, for small streamers like us, it was like, maybe we should stop playing music. And that's when I hit up Brian, and I was like, so this is happening, but we want to play like good music here that I personally and Blue likes. Could you help me out here? Kind of thing. And then that's where the whole
Oh,
instrumental.
sorry, we couldn't help.
What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about?
I like this. It's interesting. The Beatles have Robert.
Yeah.
It's interesting because bands like the Beatles created nearly every pop melody, and like every melody has probably been written. There's only like a couple chord progressions that anyone likes. You could do something original, but it probably sucks. And
They're building those cases recently.
Yeah, and
The Marvin Gaye kids.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Is it Ed Sheeran one?
It was. Oh God, what was it called? Blurred Lines. The Robin Thicke.
Oh, gotcha.
The Marvin Gaye's kids sued Robin Thicke because it sounded a lot like a Marvin Gaye song. And then there was another more recent one that maybe was Ed Sheeran. I don't know.
Yeah, the Ed Sheeran
yeah, it's such
one was a TLC song that they like had the same melody more or less.
And there's like the Katy Perry and the Christian rapper dude. I think that was another one. But
You're very learned on this topic. I had no idea.
I
You know everything about copyright.
dude, I'm just like,
Copyright genius.
let me go get my. I'm actually wearing suit pants now.
Brian's
Yeah,
a secret lawyer.
But like honestly, like there's no such thing as original art. Like everything is influenced by something else, and like if something sounds like original and new, it's just because like you don't know like what that person is influenced by. And so yeah, it's sort of insane. Like the copyright lawsuits, I'm like, Jesus, man. Like, so yeah, great point, Robert.
It's very common though in art because like I went to fashion school and I used to work in the fashion industry, and there was a lot of cases where people were like, oh no, this person stole my runway, what I showed in my runway like 2 years ago, and it's like, well, the thing is you stole it from someone else like way back when. It's like not really, like none of it is really original. Like you can't copyright that just because it's hard to, because I mean if you copyright everything, no new stuff's gonna come out. Like no one can really like use it and then like branch off of that if you copyright like the original stuff. So I think it's a really weird, like it's like this gray zone, but I think it's very not necessarily that's very unique to I think creative industry or like things that are very creative.
Yeah.
Because you can't really copyright thoughts or ideas, right?
All right, Ed. It's time. It's
Not yet.
Ed. It's time for you to copyright the G chord. So if anybody uses a
That
G,
sounds great. I'd be doing real well.
someone uses G or F, you can use that too. Yeah, I think chord progression copyright or like it's sounding like something else is like, I mean, it's a limited instrument in the sense of notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's things that sound good, and there's so many things that can be original that are different from that, like the instrumentation of the songs. There's too many. It's just such a stupid thing, I think, to like go after somebody because it sounds the same or something like that. And it's not like they're using like diminished chords, like like all the time. And it's just like it's probably a very common chord progression. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's like D4 like out of nowhere or anything like that. So it's like I don't know. I just thought
Busting
that
out the music knowledge. Yeah, look at you. I just appreciate like as a drummer, you know, there's even less you can do, you know. So everyone kind of they'll yell at, oh, that melody's similar, but I can just play the same damn drum beat on every single song, and they're like, that's fine. What else can you do, you know?
Boots and cat.
You pour your emotions into
Right,
each
every snare.
hit.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You should have Joel, and then like your tagline should be emotional drummer. Drums with emotion.
I'm gonna change my bio on Instagram right now. That's perfect.
Emotional drummer.
And then Brian can be multi-instrumentalist, copyright genius.
There we go.
And then Ed could just be the chill guy in the band.
He really
I
is.
just play bass.
He is stupid.
I bass.
Chill guy.
Yeah, I play bass and I watch the drums.
It's seriously like this feels cozy really because this is the first time I'm talking Joe and Ed, but it's really I already know Brian for a while back, but I can tell what Joy Weather is like just from seeing you guys talk, and I can see how the chemistry works. Like there's definitely like I can see this band's chemistry just by talking to you guys, so and that's a really important thing.
Thank you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you guys said you guys are working on something, maybe a re-release, something we can look forward to, or you guys working on something?
Yeah, that for sure. We also have, so on our YouTube, thankfully we recorded them all right before COVID came around, so we were able to release some content in the interim. We just did 4 fun covers that, you know, we liked the songs, and we're like, Brian would just sometimes learn songs and come into practice and bust them out. And we'd be like, whoa, where'd that come from? And we'd all play along and jam on them. So we have them as YouTube videos now, but we're like, we might as well put them up on streaming and maybe make them into a little EP themselves. So that'll be the next thing we release.
Nice.
And then who knows?
All right.
Also, I think the hidden nugget in that story though is like I could learn any song. I could just rattle off 100 songs, and they'd both just like jump on right, like, all right, cool, and I'm just like, yep, yep, sure, hit me with anything.
Which is such an awesome situation you got there. Like it's like you can do anything, and then they'll probably make it sound even better, and then they have trust in you to make it. They're like, oh yeah, we trust Brian on this one, so we'll just go on with that.
Yeah, I mean that's the secret, right? Surround yourself with talented people, and that can hide your sort of inability or crappy abilities.
You're a self-proclaimed genius. Take that back.
I am.
Fake it till you make it, Brian. Right?
Oh.
But yeah, we are also thinking about, I mean, this is like still baby stages, but we would like to release or re-release some of the old songs that we played in Royce. You know, always writing, hopefully new album and like, I don't even know, man. So we'll, at least we have like 2 projects.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, dude. So usually we do these for about an hour, and we've already been talking for an hour and a half. So yeah, like thank you guys so much, dude. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's nighttime
Your
for you guys,
chat's
right?
so nice. I love this community.
Our chat, yeah. Our chat is awesome. Yeah.
You guys gonna like go back to porn watching parties or something like that after?
Yeah. Just hop on my Discord.
So if anybody wants, let's go to Joe's Discord, and then we're doing a porn circle jerk, everybody. So yeah.
Yeah.
I
Blue, is there
did
anything you
send
want
the
to say?
link to this to my mom, so I hope she's not watching.
So this for people.
She's not Joy Weather fangirl.
That's Joe's mom.
What a twist! She would.
But yeah, so this will be up on YouTube. So I'll let you guys know about all the details and stuff like that. If you guys want me to put a different ad or a link or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for doing this. I
Thank
had
you
a great
so much.
time, guys.
Yeah, that was really
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So everyone go check out Joy Weather, all right? Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys later,
We'll
guys.
see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Hey.
Hey. Yo, so that was Joy Weather.